I love it when you talk dirty.
How has your trauma helped you in your sex life?
Helps.
She alleviating her stress, and while her stress is being alleviated, she find new shit she can do.
I feel like
women who get it best said. Do y'all feel like women who get it best said have some type of trauma?
I don't know about that.
Like
I don't know what trauma took.
I feel like
I was about to say, like, what level of trauma are we?
Like, so, I guess I watch a lot of BDSM, like psychotherapy type of stuff, how they like tie it in. And the more I watch, the more I realize how much my trauma is like tied into like my sex life. Fortunately. But
Fortunately.
kind of fortunately. Like I have a really big thing of like worshiping. I have a really big thing of like wanting to feel small and weak. And that correlate. And I'm like, oh shit, does that correlate to the fact that I did go through like physical abuse as a child? Does that correlate back to the fact that I was neglected as a child? So now I want to feel completely like at the will of something more powerful than me. Because like when you're a kid or when you're in your adolescence and your brain is still fucking developing, when you're supposed to be taught like how things are supposed to go or whatever, and you're so susceptible to everything. So it's like, like I might want to get a smack or two. I might want to like feel like, and now I'm starting to realize like, oh fuck, like my want and my need to like be submissive and stuff is a direct correlation for me to me being forced to be submissive. And it's, you know, in my younger years when I probably wasn't able to even consent to shit like that. And now I've carried that onto my adult life, and that's kind of like my kink now. Like, I like that shit. Well done. And I find a lot of comfort, and because I have to control everything else in my life. You know what I mean? So I do like when I'm with my partner that I trust, I can like release and be who I am primally, and just be that submissive person that I wasn't allowed to be on my own. Like, I was forced to that. Now I can choose to be that.
It's almost like you get to relive your childhood in a way.
No, let's not say that.
I don't think.
I'm saying but I'm saying in a way because a child gives up control. It's based off of control. Like, as a child, you trust your parents.
I feel like if you're gonna say it like that, it's more so you're feeding your inner child.
Right,
than
it's
anything
more
else.
more so.
That's how I meant it. Like, you're giving up trust in that situation.
Let's just say I was broken, and this is the way that I fix it in a way. And like I also had like a conversation with a friend a while back, and I had asked him because he had told me like he was weird about affection. He was weird about kissing.
I know a lot of people like that, actually, surprisingly.
And being vulnerable. And I was like, well, what is it? And my fucking thinking I'm a therapist ass was like, oh, well, you're a man and you're probably just afraid of being vulnerable because you're a man. You want to hold on to your manhood. And he was like, actually, no, I was like sexually abused when I was this age, this age. Yeah. And so now anything that has to like deal with closeness or like genuine.
I want you up off of me.
Yeah, I want you up off of me. It makes me fucking uncomfortable. But yet he was comfortable with gagging bitches and all sorts of types of like sadistic shit. But he didn't want to have like that loving closeness because he was never shown that loving closeness as a child.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Two ideas of it, or two examples, I guess. I don't know. So basically, one of them I know, like when it comes to kissing, or like tongue kissing, or like boom. If we having sex, right? I'm okay with somebody spitting in my mouth, but like to an extent, like you can't just
can't be like
nah,
that.
Like,
not like that. I mean, like you can do it like one or two times, but then like stop.
That was gross.
But like, you hawk.
Why'd you hack it back like that?
From the inner your
different.
esophagus. I don't want any esophagus.
But when I was little, it was like my first gay experience or whatever.
Yeah.
So the girl, she was like, we was kissing or whatever, and she started like teaching me how to kiss with tongue and stuff. And I didn't know nothing about that. So at that time, I was just like, that just spit, just just
gross you out. Kids didn't know how to brush their teeth back then. She probably had goldfish all up stuck in her teeth and shit.
She was cool though. Her shit was cool though. But like,
Listerine shirts.
now I just be like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But like then it was just like, I was traumatized. I was like, oh, no, you can't. I don't want your tongue in my mouth. Like, we could just, that's it. That's all I want. I don't want no more than that because that's too much. It's too much spit on spit. But now, yeah, hell yeah, do that shit. Get out. And then the other one, I didn't like getting my ass smacked. I hated that shit.
Remind you of spanking?
No. My cousin did that one time when I was like little.
Smash your butt?
Yeah, but it was like on some weird stuff. Some weird shit. And so like nobody and nobody was there. So like I told my mom and my mom to my auntie, they whooped his ass.
As they should.
Like
right.
all night. My mom was gone. She didn't get back till like 5 a.m. She was not. Yeah, they was serious.
Yeah.
But like now, I be like, yeah, do that shit.
At least they acting on it. At least they acting.
With that
hell
shit.
yeah.
So I know some parents who ain't do shit.
And look, she said that shit. She mean it. Like, let me know what's up, cause that shit is not going. But now I be like, hell yeah, do that shit.
How old were you at the time when that happened?
I was probably like 13.
13.
I was young.
Damn.
I remember when I even would say, like, even as early on, like, being cheated on, that's trauma. Yeah. Being manipulated emotionally, that's trauma. Yeah. All of that shit. And those are things that happened to me from teens well into, like, my mid-20s. And so, I'm starting to see those types of traumas reverberate in my life now. And that's probably, I get turned on by seeing my man be with another woman. And I'm like, yo, is that a fucking, connection to being cheated on and being drugged through the dirt? And so now,
and I ain't been cheating on. I like it too.
Right, but for me, I like it in a weird I wouldn't say in a weird way, but it's it's in a emotionally sadistic way. I like the. Let me not.
Like let me go
ahead and be candid with the audience, but it's like an emotional hurt that feels good. I've been able to transmute that energy that used to be so fucking painful into something that feels good physically now. Though it hurts, it feels awesome. Good. I don't know. It's fucked up.
Good pain.
I told my best friend about that, and she was like, Jasmine, are you okay? And I'm like, bitch, I'm fine. It's great. I figured out this.
It's just what the fuck?
You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm telling him. I always tell him, just because I'm attracted to women does not mean that it still doesn't hurt, because it hurts. It just hurts good, nigga. It just hurts in a different way. But yeah, what about you? Let's go ahead and get off that topic. I ain't talking about therapist. I got an appointment. It's okay.
I'm weak. So while y'all been talking, I really been sitting here kind of trying to think about it. And the first thing that really comes to my mind, the biggest thing for me, is a sense of control. Because it's for me in my life, I feel like a lot of things that have happened have been out of my control. And it's that's anxiety inducing for me, because I need a sense of order, a certain sense of things. It's a lot of stuff in life. It's fucking life. You can't control the shit.
That Virgo.
So it's but it's no, absolutely it is. But it's for me, I don't really know how to explain it. I'm still thinking about it.
What about you, JR?
Let me pass the mic.
I have my own conclusion, but I don't
I feel like I grew up around a lot of strong women growing up as a child. So I do feel like when I be intimate with women, I feel like I gravitate towards strong women. I like fucking strong women because it's when I am fucking them, I feel like I'm good at what I do in pleasing women. So when I do get to please women, I feel like I disarm them in a sense. So it's I get pleasure out of yo, this woman is strong maybe 20 hours out of the day, but maybe, the 4 hours I get to wine and dine her and slowly put her in her feminine divine energy. I could disarm her by the time penetrating her, eating her pussy, whatnot. The fact that she's in heaven or just letting her guard down and she don't feel like she's holding a gun. It's she can be at ease. So I get off on that. It's damn, this woman is strong and having the, put up a wall throughout most of the day. But like when she's with me, she get to let her guard down. She get to feel like, comfortable in her feminine energy. And it's all because like I'm eating her pussy right, or I'm fucking the shit out of her. And I get to hear her moan and make feminine sounds. So I get off on that. I get off on
Feminist
fucking strong
Feminist
women.
sounds.
You said what?
Did you just start making dolphin noises? And he said feminist sounds? What?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, but I want
She just fucked my whole take up. Like, if I was gonna make it real, and
Wait,
she just
but look.
fucked my whole-
I
she
want
just fucked my reel all up.
I raised my hand
That
for a
would've been
reason
fine.
My
because
reel all up.
I think you kind of made something click when you said that for me. Like what it is for me. I think for me it's if a man or a woman dares to challenge my sense of control. Like that's the thing for me. It's like, oh, okay.
What
Alright.
Oh, you bold.
I do, and I would have
Like,
said,
go
I
ahead.
do say like,
Let's see what happens.
I do get like a rise out of like putting women in their place respectfully though. Like, say
Yeah,
they in the wrong,
literally.
Like the fact that they wanted to listen to me and like hear me out, that's a turn off for me. It's like, all right, well, they respect me as a man, and on top of that, if I get them in the bedroom, I get to take over. And the fact that they trust me, like being in charge in the bedroom.
Because I feel like if somebody can challenge me, because I talk a lot of shit, and
It's like,
I'm
like the
yeah,
fact that I
like-
can hear like our skins smacking against each other as I'm giving you back shots, you moaning, you have no control at that point. You just taking my dick. Like I'm in full
But
control.
how does that
Boss.
how does that correlate to like trauma? How does that?
I just told you because like I
Being
grew
around
around
a lot
a lot
of-
of strong women.
How are they traumatic for
Because I feel like a lot of times I didn't have a voice in those situations. So I feel like I can have a voice in the bedroom with my penis. I don't know, that's toxic, but like I feel like I can have a voice with my dick and my sexual activities that I'm good at. So I feel like I get to lash out and speak out. I get to be very vocal without saying shit.
What about your need for
said, "I get the
threesomes
fuck."
and like alternative, like your need?
Oh,
for
with the
that?
threesome
Like,
shit, I really just enjoy women. Like I enjoy strong. Like even though, you know what I'm saying, that was low key traumatizing. Like me growing up, I still enjoy women who have a voice and who have something to say. Like I enjoy learning from women, even though I may not always agree with vocal or strong independent women. I do feel like I can learn from them, but I also enjoy educating them too. I like to learn. I like for it to be a two-way street. So I like to get my shit, off my chest. I want them to get their shit off their chest. It might get heated at moments, but I want our release to be, we enjoying each other in the bedroom.
so
it's
nothing
pleasure
on the
now.
men's side, just on the women's side of trauma.
Oh, well, I went with man's side of the trauma. I feel like maybe the reason I enjoy a lot of women, like I spoke about this before, like my mom and dad were married. My dad cheated on my mom with one of his co-workers. I don't even remember my parents being married, but I think they got a divorce when I was like 4.
I
So-
can relate to that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but as like growing up, my dad's side of the family, or the man in my family, was always teaching me to have multiple women. Don't put all your eggs in one basket with them women, because women can do this, women can do that. So, like I said, in a way, I resented my dad for breaking up, the marriage between him and my mom. But in a way, I feel like it kind of made me want multiple women at the end of the day. Like, that's why. But I don't know if it's just based off of that, because it's not like I'm just looking at women as objects. Like, I like women for who they are. Like, I care about what they think, what comes out their mouths. Like, I'm not just looking at women as a piece of meat. That's why I like to wine and dine them, even with Jazz. Like, any girl we talking to, I want to know who I'm sticking my dick in before I just stick it in them. Like, I want to know something about you. I want to know what you stand for. Your thoughts. How you articulate yourself, like that type of way, how you carry yourself. Like I want to know at least something about you before I just, fuck the shit out of you, pretty much. So yeah.
When you spoke to like your parents separating when you were young, I relate to that, and I think for me, like that's where a lot of that sense of control, like that was a level of strength for me growing up, because it was like a lot of the men in my life were touch and go, me and my dad now have a really good bond, but we didn't always have that, So it's like, with that being said, the only thing I really did have to look up to was a strong woman, my mother. You know, and my mom's a Libra, so
Okay.
So is my mom.
hey, yeah.
My mom's
so it's
a
like,
Virgo, so you know how that goes.
yeah, yeah. But I'm dead. But it's like having a Libra mother. The thing that I understand about her is that her peace is the biggest priority
Yeah,
to
for
her.
sure.
Yo.
So it's like in her, like for her, in a sense, it's like her sense of control comes in whatever it takes to have that sense of peace.
Same with my mom. She would
Yeah.
always be like, y'all taking away from my peace.
Exactly. Like it's like
Y'all making me nervous.
it's a sense of balance that it's like, okay, well, to what extent does it take for you to have that balance of that peace of mind? So it's like growing up with that, I think that's kind of watching that dynamic with my mother and watching that unfold is where like that sense of a certain level of control came into play for me personally, because that's what I grew up around. So
Yo, my
Yeah.
mom had niggas in and out like the wind, bro.
if
So,
my mom did,
it
I ain't
took
see
me-
that shit.
Okay.
Okay, smooth
yeah.
operator. If that was the
Yeah,
case,
I was in the
back
I
room
had
and she
no
was on the
idea.
couch.
Yo, well, not.
No,
I
like,
don't,
go
I don't want to
nowhere.
say
The
it was a
bathroom was next
plethora
door.
of men, but it was as if like, as soon as my like again, it goes back to like what you said with the peace stuff. Like as soon as like her shit was disrupted, it was like
You gotta
she
go.
could move on like nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the one traumatic, I guess it wasn't necessarily traumatic until it came to like when she was with this just one particular man, but it was as if like one dude would be there for like however long, and the next day I come home from school and he was just gone, like he never even fucking existed. And I feel like that's something I picked up on. Like I'm super quick to just, I'm like, yo, I probably shouldn't be like that. I probably shouldn't.
But see,
Like
what's
no
not a
closure,
problem?
no discussion,
Tis
no
not
sit
a
down with the
problem.
kids.
I mean, hey.
Just one day he there, the next day he
Things
just.
will
But
be
see,
fine.
and like where you
Like,
pick that up
things will
for
be
me,
fine.
like my mother did not introduce nobody. I ain't even know that nigga existed
Okay.
until she thought it was something
Serious.
that was gonna be
That's
Some
how my
real
mom
stuff.
X,
was.
Y,
Yeah.
and Z.
My
So
mom
it's like I
yeah.
feel like that's also part of the reason why I'm very private about
Yeah,
dynamics
me
until
too.
I know it's something that's gonna
Real.
be something.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I think all the girls I dated, my mom only met like 3 women, including the Jack.
I don't let people around my family. Like I'm hell bent on that. Like the only reason my
Well,
mom met a lot of people is because like I live with my mom. This is my
Yeah.
mom, nigga. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I feel
But,
like women met my dad's side of the family more, but like my mom's side, man.
And that's
they
funny, I was
do
the
a lot.
reverse.
Yeah.
I was the reverse. Like people met my mama, but like if you met my dad, I must have really fucking liked you. Because my dad, like one thing
That's me and my grandma.
I picked up from my dad is I really don't like people. And my dad don't like no fucking body. Like he does not like nobody. So I don't just bring just anybody around my dad because that might not end well. So
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, well, one thing I am grateful for, like my mom, yeah, like she would be very selective of who she introduced me to, and even if she was introducing me to somebody, she would have a talk with me and let me know what's going on with that guy and how it was getting real serious before she just let them come in the house or whatnot. And I'd be like, who the fuck is this nigga? 'Cause I was very protective of my mom. Like, we be in the grocery store, somebody trying to talk to her. I can be off somewhere and come, like, some nigga was fixing on her car, and I was in the back seat taking a nap. And as soon as I heard a nigga voice, I hopped up, sit on my mom's lap, and
Mama, who
stared at
this
the nigga in his
is?
eye. Like, I was always, my mom's like little bodyguard type of shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I was always like that. So I was appreciative that she would always give me a heads up before just thrusting.
Thrusting somebody
Like a
else
nigga
away.
on me.